Hello, Void. Well, the little tagline I had left on my Henry review, I think is more appropriate for this one. Wow, that was graphic. Devil Hunter. I had already reviewed Cannibal Terror before, and, well, finally finishing off this little mini collection with Jess Franco's Devil Hunter. And, wow, I can see why this movie was either very censored or very banned upon its initial release. 1980 Sleaze Fest, essentially. Now, if I recall, I gave Cannibal Terror a similar thing, but I didn't go as much into how Cannibal Terror was not nearly as graphic as Devil Hunter, as I'll say, but it's just about as tasteful. So, one charming little collection. Anyway, so Jess Franco is kind of infamous for Euro sleaze. He does many cannibal exploitation films and other such. He's an over-the-top director. So, Devil Hunter. Now, I'm not sure if that title means one who hunts devils or a devil that is a hunter. It kind of goes either way in this movie, more seeming to be a devil that's also a hunter. Though it does have several alternate titles, including Mandingo Manhunter and Sexo Cannibal, though I believe those originally released as just El Cannibal in Spain, which is the primary country of origin for this one, though West Germany and France also had an influence on it. So, this movie starts out with an abduction of a model actress. It's kind of unclear on what she is by a group of kidnappers, and she's taken out into the jungle to use as a ransom location. The studio hires a guy to go get her back. He does give her the money to pay the ransom, but would prefer him to come back with both the money and the girl. And the island that they happen to have laid low on is an island infested with cannibals. Actually, that might not be completely accurate. There is a native tribe on this island. They you don't actually see eating anyone throughout the movie. However, their god seems to be the cannibal. They have a few totems to what looks like a bug-eyed version of than native. He's got these prosthetics that are like pretty much ping pong balls glued to his face. He's essentially the main antagonist throughout it. The tribe seems to be trying to placate him with young sacrifices periodically, so he's the main cannibal. The tribe just seems to mostly just be trying to stave him off, except for this one priestess that seems to have some weird psychic connection to him. So, see if I can show that all right. Yeah, that bug-eyed thing there is what we're looking at. Oh, and I will actually give credit to the sleazy poster design. That's the scene actually straight out of the movie. I mean, down here we just have the stock image from it, but yeah, the painted poster type thing is a scene that actually happens in the movie, so that's a rarity. So kudos to that. But anyway, I will say there's a few good things here. The gore effects, as in most of these cannibal exploitation films, are top notch. Okay, fine there. And if you're going into one of these expecting a perverse sleaze fest, you'll get exactly what you're expecting. And I will say the beginning does do a good job with a bit of subtlety for showing very little of the demon cannibal, and then showing a little bit of him, but keep cutting to like this totem pole with him on it. So it makes it clear of that he's worshipped by this tribe without explicitly saying it. They do a lot of good things letting you figure out what's going on here. That said, the rest of the movie has a bit to be desired. The main heroine, she's fine, but she's not given a lot to do other than scream and writhe around naked. The main protagonist trying to get her back is your stock action hero, and the villains are pretty stock as well. One weird thing for production is also this one it's dubbed and poorly, but with these you expect that. I've given up on holding that against these films, but for this weird random little like 2-minute section, the dubbing just stops. I mean, these characters were then speaking Spanish to each other. Now, throughout the movie, those two had always been speaking dubbed English, even amongst themselves. So I think they just forgot to actually dub over this one little small snippet. I mean, you don't really lose anything. It's just them then trekking through the jungle, trying to find the girl that ran off. So essentially, once the hostage deal goes down, both sides are trying to betray the other, and it becomes a clusterfuck. So the two heroes that are trying to save the girl get shot out, their helicopter goes down, and they end up stuck in the jungle. But the kidnappers lose their kidnapped girl. She runs off into the jungle, and now it's kind of this weird four-way hunt between the kidnappers trying to get the girl and make the other side think they still have her. The heroes trying to capture their boat, get the girl, and get out. The cannibal, oh god, stalking all of them, and the girl just trying to avoid everyone and just get to safety. So, the problems, this movie's way too long. And at an hour and 40, that's hard to say, but it felt like this movie was overstaying its welcome, and then I realized it still had about a half hour left to go. And a lot of the problem with that is long, slow reaction shots. There's a lot of them in this movie. And you'll get it repeatedly. Like, you'll see something going on, you'll cut to several reactions, you'll see, like, the woman screaming and something terrible is happening to her, then you'll cut around to, like, Tribe I was watching, you'll see a little bit more progression of whatever's going on there, and you'll cut around the room again, so it's... And then a quick shot to the totem. Half of those could be cut and you wouldn't lose anything. And there's a lot of long, slow walking scenes that don't really need to be there. This movie could easily be trimmed down to a tight 80 minutes and you wouldn't lose anything. And in doing so, well, it would take on a lot of the problems that this movie does have, because overall I wasn't bored, at least through the beginning, but towards the end it just started to just drag on and on. And for a simple of a movie as it is, it really didn't need to be that long. That said, if you're offended by anything, don't watch this movie. This pretty much has it all. There's a rape scene, there's regular sex scenes. So far I think this is the movie with the most nudity that I've reviewed on this show, and that's male and female, actually, and you will see it all on both counts. So there's that, and a lot of it. It's constant through this movie. And over-the-top gore, naturally. So I was hoping it would be a bit tighter than it was, but otherwise it's... If you're looking for sleaze trash, it's exactly what you want. For me, I'm going to have to give this one only a 2 MacGuffins, because it did some clever stuff at the beginning. Not quite enough to put it up to a 3, but it isn't near down to a 1, and that's with some of the technical problems it did have. But overall, it's completely passable unless you're looking for something... If you want trash cinema, this is the epitome of it. So, yeah, that's all on this one, and I think I need a shower now. See you guys.